see you.
My name is Naledi Pandor, and I'm the South African Minister of International Relations and Cooperation. I wish to begin by thanking the judges of the International Court of Justice for dealing with this matter expeditiously. Given the urgency of the need to protect innocent civilians in Palestine and to ensure that the harm that South Africa has referred to in the case it brought before the ICJ, that harm is addressed and that people's lives are saved. The saving of life is not merely with respect to having a ceasefire, it's to ensuring that humanitarian aid is provided to those who need support, as well as ensuring that the State of Israel, which is currently the occupier and administrator in Palestine, provides the necessary basic services that the residents of Gaza and the West Bank require. This case was very much about international bodies ensuring that they exercise their responsibility to protect us all as global citizens. All member states of the United Nations have attached their signatures to a range of instruments. But when lives are threatened, these instruments are not brought to bear. And South Africa had the view that we could not stand idly by and continue to observe the killing of thousands of Palestinian citizens who had no role in the awful act of hostage-taking and killing that was done by Hamas. And therefore, we thought it important that we do report and apply to the International Court of Justice that the measures provided within the Convention for the Punishment and Prevention of Genocide are brought to bear, and that the State of Israel is called upon by the judges to act to protect civilians and to end the massive level of harm that we have seen since the Israeli action began. And we agree entirely with the judges that Hamas should release the hostages that they're currently holding. We also, in our various engagements with our partners internationally, believe the moment is now ripe for there to be negotiations for a two-state solution to end this conflict decisively.
Minister, are you disappointed there wasn't a ceasefire? Are you disappointed the court called for a ceasefire?
I believe that in exercising the order, there would have to be a ceasefire. Without it, the order doesn't actually work. I would have wanted a ceasefire.
They didn't specifically call
No,
for
they
ceasefire.
didn't.
Are you disappointed that they didn't specify that in their provisions?
I have no way that I'm going to say I'm disappointed. I hoped for it, but the fact of delivering humanitarian aid, the fact of taking measures that reduce the levels of harm against persons who have no role in what Israel is combating, for me, requires a ceasefire. And I believe Israel would have to attend to how it conducts its search for the hostages and for those Hamas individuals who carried out the October 7 attack.
Why do you think
What's the next step?
Didn't take your appeal for a ceasefire? Why?
I believe that the court judgment needs to be read very, very carefully. They've given very, very direct instructions. We are satisfied that the provisional measures that we sought to be addressed would be addressed by the court. And I believe if you read the convention very carefully, the matter of how a war or conflict is conducted is not elaborated. I would have wanted that the word cessation is included in the judgment. But I'm satisfied with the directives that have been given, and in particular, I was concerned as the president of the court was reading the order that reference wasn't being made to a report, because the reporting is absolutely imperative. The monitoring of action in terms of the order is vital. And so for the fact that a monthly report, a report within 1 month of this date, has been ordered is, I believe, very significant.
What do you say to Germany and the United States who have called this case meritless?
Well, the fact that the court says, remember that today we're not deciding about the allegation of genocide. What we're dealing with are the provisional measures. It's clear that the court does say circumstances exist where it is plausible that genocidal acts have been committed. This, of course, means once the merit case is addressed, and if the finding is that there has been genocide, those states that have aided and abetted become a party to commission of an infringement in terms of the convention.
Do you think Israel will conform to the orders laid down by the court today?
I've never really been hopeful about Israel, but Israel has very powerful friends who I hope will advise Israel that they should act
Minister, what does it
in
say
terms
about
of the
Israel?
order.
Would you say? What does it say about Israel as a country and the government and the military?
I think that's for you and the public to decide. What we've said is, here's an international instrument. Let us bring it into operation, and let's stop being observers of significant harm. Let's act. And South Africa has acted. And what the court has actually indicated is that this convention is being brought to life in a very practical way. And I now think what we want is that the member states of the United Nations must oversee the process and ensure that we create a basis for a global community in which a resort to arms is no longer easy. A resort to abuse is no longer easy. And that more effort is now directed toward negotiation and toward seeking peaceful means of ending conflict.
And do you think Hamas
relations with Israel?
Well, as far as I understand the convention, states are members, states are signatories, and you bring actions with reference to states, not to particular groups.
But has Hamas behaved genocidally? Even outside
Well, I believe that what has been done by Hamas is certainly caused great harm, and I do think that the hostages should be freed, and that's what we must focus on.
Madam Minister, do you believe that the decision of the court will help, let's say, in solving the problem of the Israeli aggression against the Palestinians today, and in the short term maybe can help finding a political solution to the conflict between the Palestinian people and the Israeli occupation?
Well, my hope is that we will begin to move toward a process where substantively a two-state solution is being discussed. The people of Palestine have suffered harm for many, many decades. I don't believe it will end today or tomorrow. But what we've done is a very clear signal has been sent by the court. And it's now a test for the government and people of Israel as to whether they will act in a manner that says all of us must respect international law.
What are the implications for international law?
Hello.
Well, if Israel acts in accord with it, I think the implications are for a future hopeful world. Should it not, then essentially we are opening up room for all abusers in many conflicts throughout the world. And I think we'll be setting a terrible, terrible precedent. So what we should do, what all of us should do, is call on Israel to act in terms of the decision.
But will you sever ties with Israel, or are you preserving ties with Israel?
I don't think it's a matter of South Africa and Israel here. The real issue, all your questions are about Israel, but the real issue is the people of Palestine who are being killed every day. The people of Palestine who are sleeping in the cold. The people of Palestine who are denied food, water, and energy. That is the critical issue that all of us should focus upon.
And on that note, we're going to ask the Vice Foreign Minister of...
With the people of Palestine, we stand with the people of Palestine, and our message to them is never give up hope. South Africa got over the apartheid oppression. They will overcome.
And
Thank you,
for that, we'll ever be grateful, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Allow me to start by saying that we concur with everything that Her Excellency, the Minister of for International Cooperation of South Africa, Naledi Pandor, has stated in front of all of you, and to read a message from the Palestinian people on this very important day.
Yeah, so we were just hearing from outside the International Court of Justice there at The Hague, from the South African Minister of International Relations, Naledi Pandor, saying it's a very important moment. A very clear signal has been sent by the court to Israel, said that Israel had been called upon to protect civilians and end the massive level of harm. She was asked about how disappointed she was about the fact there's no ceasefire. She would not say she was disappointed. She wanted a ceasefire, she said, but she's also said that in exercising the order that Israel must protect civilians, there would have to be a ceasefire. But then went on to say she's never been hopeful about Israel, but it's down to Israel's powerful friends to act now.